I 24M don't think I'm good enough for my girlfriend 23F. I 24M have been in a relationship with my 23F girlfriend for a little over 6 months. I've always been a bit insecure in myself, and now that I'm dating my girlfriend I really feel it. She is smart, kind, funny, charming and beautiful. People gravitate towards her. I don't think I'm good enough for her. I feel like at any point she could just go out and find someone better than me. Anytime she does anything feel kind of anxious about it. For the most part I don't project this onto her and I've made it clear from the beginning that I am insecure and it's something I'm trying to work on. So far we've had a great relationship with minimal issues and a very open line of communication. She's given me no reason to think like this, she's been great to me. It's just something in my head that I need to get over. I don't want to sit on my insecurities and be anxious over her every move. The point of this post, I guess, is to get some advice or pointers. How can I gain more confidence and become the person that she thinks I am and the person that she deserves?
I once puked over the whole front of the bus, it was everywhere. This happened in early June of 2023. I just turned 15 at the time. That day I got a text from my best friend suggesting to go to some kind of party. I was bored, so I was eager to meet up with him. He texted me in the morning, so I had a lot of time. I live in a Slavic country, and my mom cooked a Slavic meal for lunch. I ate it and drank some coffee before I went out to meet my friend. We met earlier because I wanted to buy some nicotine. I was a heavy smoker then, and all of it kinda mixed up in my stomach. While going to bus stop I felt sudden weakness and I felt something bad was coming. We were waiting for bus and at that point I am nearly unconscious from how bad I felt. The bus comes and it was full with tourists that were going to the airport. We get in and 2 stops further I turn pale. I felt that I'm gonna puke my guts out. My friend notices my ghost-like appearance and lets me sit for a while. I thought that it became better. Moments later I puke inside my mouth, and then after tasting it I puke all over the front of the bus. It was on some old lady's purse inside some tourists' bags. It was everywhere. They had a whole ass Thanksgiving meal puke in their bags. Thankfully, they were nice and helped me out, gave me some paper towels to clean myself up. As soon as we go out the bus my friends start to die of laughter. Me myself was barely holding in my laughter.
I puked up all over other people's stuff and myself. So I 21F am hanging out and celebrating Memorial Day weekend with some friends. We are in a state where smoking marijuana recreationally is legal. Well, after drinking for 8 hours, the group decided to smoke as well. I smoke more than I drink, so I decided hell yeah I'll smoke. I ended up getting very cross-faded. Definitely not my first time, but was definitely more fucked up than Elle thought I was, and asked one of the girls I am with to discreetly go to the bathroom with me. We go to the bathroom and I tell her like thank you for going with me because I just needed someone to take a second away from the group with. She gets me a bottle of water, so I figured walking around and some water would help. Spoiler alert, it did not. Maybe an hour later I tell 2 of the girls, hey, I need to tap out, will you go with me, so it's not so obvious that I have to tap out before everyone else. They take me up to the room I'm staying in and I'm sitting on the bed when I start feeling that nauseous feeling in my stomach. I tried to swallow the feeling down and make it subside. That didn't work. I ended up throwing up in my mouth and tried to swallow that down so I didn't cause a scene. It was too late. After I gagged and threw up the first time, the rest just flew out. I projectile vomited all over the floor, my shoes, my bag of clothes, someone else's clothes and shoes, and my feet. At this point I'm begging the 2 girls to bring me a towel or paper towels or anything. They finally did, and I wiped up a massive pile of vomit and put it in the trash can they brought. I am now laying in bed in a room that reeks of vomit, trying to figure out how to clean my shoes and the stuff I threw up on with hand soap in a bathroom sink so that I, and the room, don't smell in the morning. TLDR, I got too cross-faded and thought I could tough out feeling nauseous. I couldn't and ended up puking all over my shoes, my bag of clothes, someone else's shoes and clothes, my feet, and the floor. And I don't know how to clean the shoes and clothes before morning.
My boyfriend 22M of 4 years broke up with me 22F last week out of nowhere. For context, my boyfriend and I were friends through high school, started dating at the end of our senior year and fell in love fast. We graduated college and 4 days later he broke up with me. He kept saying things like I'm holding you back and trying to do what's best for you, etc. We plan on moving for his grad school in a couple months in another state. He thinks I'm settling if I go there with him, but I don't feel that way. I felt like he was being distant, and he took that as I think he's an awful boyfriend. I'm kind of blindsided. All of the things he said like he was holding me back, I don't even feel that way. It's so confusing. Both of our parents are heartbroken. His mom came to my house a week after the breakup, and she was frantic, crying, and just as confused as me. We both feel like he's having so much anxiety about the future that he just snapped. We had a loving, calm relationship. I think he's just having a mental breakdown-ish. My boyfriend and I are going to talk tomorrow. Part of me wants to work things out, part of me doesn't know if we can. I also don't know where his head is at. Question: what do I say to him tomorrow? I'm heartbroken and don't even know where to start. This is a massive misunderstanding. Question 2: do we try to make it work if we're both willing?
Recently, I was pulled over for speeding. Sucks, because just 5 months prior I received my first speeding ticket on the interstate, 4 points reduced from 6. Ever since then I've been a careful driver. But supposedly when the cop walked to me, he said I was going 88 on 70, he used the pace method. I was flabbergasted because I don't drive that fast anymore. I learned my lesson from that ticket and a huge fine 5 months before. To make things worse, my car was relatively new and I was procrastinating getting insurance, so I was uninsured. To make things even more worse, I forgot my wallet in my gym bag the night prior too, so no license. Well, I got 3 tickets that day for a total citation cost of $650. Yes, I know, what an idiot. Only thing is, I believe there was no way I was going that fast that day. It was a Friday afternoon, there were tens of cars flying past me, yet I got pulled over. The highest I saw my speedometer was 82, I slowed down, and I drive on average below 80. Anyways, I emailed the court and plead not guilty to all 3 counts. They emailed me back with a plea deal. They offered to dismiss the no insurance and no driver's license citation, as well as to drop my ticket from 4.16-19 mph to a 2-point speedometer violation and $175 fine. As amazing as this offer sounds, I'm wondering if I should fight it, because I genuinely don't believe I was driving that fast, and had I not gotten pulled over, none of this would have happened. Also, my license is still probationary, so every point is 2x now. This would have me at 8 points on my record, 4 plus 2/2. Yes, I have insurance now, and it's relatively high due to the first ticket. It would skyrocket after this, I believe. They gave me 2 options: schedule another hearing in person, or accept this offer. What should I do? TLDR. Got 3 traffic citations speeding 88/70, no car insurance, no driver's license, for a total cost of $650. Court emailed me a plea deal for 2-point speedometer violation and 175 citation. I don't think I was ever speeding in the first place, so I want to fight it.
AITA for arguing with my father-in-law? I have no shame in admitting that I 37M love the Little House on the Prairie book series. I've read the entire series to my kids, and honestly, I probably enjoyed it more than they did. We've even visited a lot museum. Recently my wife and I were at my in-laws' house along with my wife's sister and her husband, and my father-in-law, who, let's just say, doesn't exactly get challenged on his facts, starts talking about the Little House TV show. He confidently claims that the actress who played Mary, the oldest sister, actually went blind in real life. I thought this was an honest mix-up and corrected him. No, it was the real-life Mary Ingalls who went blind, not the actress who played her. But he doesn't miss a beat and says he's sure the actress went blind. I'm not sure why, but for some reason I lost it and started really going after him like, do you realize how astronomically unlikely it would be for the actress playing a character who went blind in real life to also go blind? He still didn't back down or even admit there is possibility he's wrong. At this point I really start getting after it, and in my peripherals I can see/feel everyone else at the table is uncomfortable and has now left the discussion, but I can't stop. A few highlights include, what season, episode, and scene did the actress actually go blind? Did they film it in real time? Was the director thrilled with this development? At some point I noticed the now very dirty looks from my wife and sister-in-law, and I finally regain a sense of my surroundings. It's dead silent for about 5 seconds and I just say to no one in particular, what? It's true. My wife tries to lighten the mood, saying this is how debates go with my side of the family, but there's just uncomfortable silence for a while. Eventually, someone changed the subject and things moved on. AITA, do I owe my father-in-law or the whole family an apology?
I fell for an awful person and my mind is reeling. I've been talking online to a person for the past few months, and I've been vibing on every level. I plan to tell him how I felt before we met up later on this year. Haven't heard from him in a few days / hasn't been active on socials, not super out of the ordinary. He has health issues, so I googled his name out of sheer curiosity. Turns out he's been EFFing arrested for possession of CP. I'm absolutely disgusted, shocked, and heartbroken. They've got all of his devices, which means I've been texting the fucking cops checking on him and wondering if he's okay. The details on age has got me the most. I have kids, but age he doesn't know about them. I don't dive that deep into my private life until I'm sure about someone. I will never speak to him again. The immediate disgust that washed over me when I read it negates any good feelings. But I feel guilty. Ashamed. Stupid for not being able to see the person he is even though he presented himself as the polar opposite. The man was our EFFing Marine, a paramedic after the fact. I'm not sure what I'm looking for here. I just have no one in life to tell.
AITA for keeping inheritance from birth mother instead of splitting with adoptive siblings? I just found out that my birth mother, who I have never met, left me her whole estate $180K. I was adopted at birth by a wonderful family with 2 other adopted kids. My siblings are now saying that it isn't fair I got everything when they also deserve it being adopted as well. They want to split it 3 ways. My parents are staying neutral, which I can tell is uncomfortable. The thing is, this was my birth mother. She chose to find me and leave me this money. My siblings have their own birth families they could easily have a connection to someday. For me, this feels like my one connection to where I came from. Now family dinners are awkward because my siblings barely talk to me. Am I being selfish keeping money that was legally left to me?
Tifu missed opportunity to talk to a girl who was eyeing me. Yesterday I was traveling back home from an event and stopped to get gas about an hour away from where I live. When I pull up to the gas pump, on the other side is a very attractive girl, my age 24, my type and everything. Now I don't talk to random girl like ever, so I wasn't going to say anything and just go about my business of getting gas and going home. However, whenever I glanced over at her, she would make eye contact for a bit, until I instinctively dart my eyes away. At that point I'm thinking she is just noticing when I glanced over, and that's all. But this happened a couple more times while I'm leaning on my car waiting. I noticed she was done pumping and now she's just sitting in her car, and she kept looking over at me. And she didn't starting driving away until got in the car and left. Now I'm scared I missed an opportunity, like she was waiting for me to say something to her. Unless my ability to read body language is completely wrong. The worst part is I knew what she was doing while I was still there and had the chance to say something, but I'm so petrified in situations like that with an attractive girl. Then afterwards, driving home, mad I didn't take my chance afterwards. I know I'm never going to see her ever again, and who knows what could have happened if I just said hi and maybe gave her my number. That's all. Just wanting to share, and maybe making this post will not let me forget this feeling and hopefully help next time I'm in a situation like this to just say something. TLDR, I didn't say anything to a girl who I think was giving me all the signs to approach her.
I scammed/effed over U-Haul for over $600 and nobody knows. A few months ago I rented a U-Haul. Well, I thought I did. When I got there at the site, their system was down and lady told me to wait up, and after like 30-40 minutes, she told me to take it and bring it back with the same amount of gas in it. She didn't ask where I was traveling to, so I ended up taking it and drove for 400 miles. In the middle of the trip I got a call from U-Haul asking, "Hello, I saw you had a reservation. I was wondering if you still wanted to pick up." I said I'm already in the middle of my trip with the U-Haul, and they said okay, thank you. I will cancel, and hung up, got back and returned it and never heard from them again. It's been 3 months. Edit. I have reached out via email more than 3 times and never heard anything back. I didn't steal the truck, I returned it with the same amount of gas I brought it out with. Edit #2. I was also doing a side job where I had to go pick up some garbage from a construction site. I was paid $400 for the job plus the $680 to pay the U-Haul. I kept everything.
AITA for telling my husband not to run with our dog. My husband likes to take our dog running. Our dog hates it. He always hides from my husband when he wears this particular top he only wears to run, whereas he's normally waiting at the back door super excited when he's going for a normal walk. I should say our dog is healthy and doesn't have any injuries that stop him from running. He sprints around a field on his own just fine. We also have a new baby, so we both have limited opportunities to exercise, though we each get one evening each to do something. And my husband plays sport. This morning the dog was hiding as my husband was about to take him for a run, and I told my husband I didn't want him running with the dog anymore because he clearly hates it, and how would he feel if I made him run when he didn't want to? I said we could walk him separately from his runs. My husband blew up saying we don't have time to do that with the baby anymore, which is semi-true, and he stormed out the house. On the other side, I could be the AH, as it means my husband can't run and do exercise, which he uses as a stress reliever. We also do have limited time, and it's not harming the dog per se. For those wondering why he can't run without the DOD, we have a newborn and our dog pulls horribly. We've had multiple paid training attempts, so one of us has to stay with baby at home as dog plus pram/carrier isn't safe. He doesn't think we have time to walk the dog for 30 minutes, and then for him to run separately for 30 mins as we're rushing with a baby.
Tifu by April Fools and myself. I completely April Fools myself via Snapchat. I 25F barely use Snapchat anymore. But one thing I do use it for is to keep NSFW photos in the My Eyes Only section.
Last night around 3 AM, I was cleaning out some of these photos and copied one to send to my boyfriend. It turns out that when I copied this one photo, I also posted it on my story.
I proceeded to fall asleep shortly thereafter.
I woke up a few hours later to texts from two of my cousins who were completely horrified and notifying me of my mistake, thank God, warning me that I should take it down immediately.
I of course had no idea what they were talking about, but quickly went to my Snapchat and discovered a topless photo of me was on my story and had been viewed by 22 people. I am completely mortified. Part of me is telling myself, oh well, at least it was one of the better photos, and I go to topless beaches all the time, so who cares, but overall I'm just fucking humiliated. The only other person who reached out to me about it is a gay guy from my high school choir who I haven't spoken to in almost a decade, simply writing, hey, did you mean to post this?
It actually made me laugh.
What if I just wrote yes? Anyway, that was the start of my April 1st. Happy April Fools to me.
TLDR, I accidentally posted a new to my Snapchat story.
I used a word that doesn't belong to me for way too long. I think it's pretty clear what I mean, but in case it isn't, I'm your average Midwestern white guy. I grew up pretty poor in rural America during the mid-50s. Black culture was being co-opted by white people all around me, and since there weren't many black people in my town, I didn't know any better and picked up on the language being used. I genuinely, wholeheartedly believed that asofta wasn't offensive. I'd never say it to a black person. I'd never use the hard R. So clearly I knew it was wrong, but I never really understood why. In college, I went to a pretty rural school, but there were many more people of color, and I made good friends with people from all different cultures and backgrounds. One of my friends in my instrument program WWW Black, and his name was very similar to the name I had saved in my phone for a white friend. I was bored one night and wanted to hang out, so I texted me white friend, hey, what are you is up to? Well, I sent the text to my black friend. I had only known him for about a year. His replay was something like lol what? And my soul cringes out of my body every time I think about this for the last 10 plus years. But at the time I think it didn't even register on me how bad of a look that was. Luckily, my black friend was seemingly chill and I didn't get reported to the school or anything. My hope is that he knew I was just a stupid ass rural white kid that didn't know any better. I don't use words that don't belong to me anymore. I have thought about reaching out to the friend I sent the text to apologize, but I realize that is just me trying to absolve myself of guilt. I fucked up and deserve the soul-crushing cringe as a reminder not to be so ignorant. Tifu, car accident with no insurance. Got into a car accident. No one else was involved but hit a wall. I called Farmers Insurance and they said that the policy was cancelled without my knowledge as of the 5th of April. Today is the 24th. So they're not paying for the damages. Apparently they sent a renewal survey notice in DEC 2024 and one on February 2025. This notice was necessary to have the auto insurance renewed. But apparently, I failed to respond and they just cancelled the policy. Is there anyone that is knowledgeable about insurance policies and how I can navigate this situation? Is there anything else I can do? Isn't there a grace period? Life is so cruel sometimes. TLDR, car insurance won't pay for damages due to not submitting a renewal survey, but it's only been a few weeks since my insurance expired.
Would I be the a-hole if I cancel on a prom date the day of? Hey, maybe a bit of a silly one, but I have a bit of a dilemma, and my friends and are split 50/50 on what I should do. I 17F have been talking to a guy 17M since January, and we've been in something between a situationship/relationship since January. Recently, I messaged him to ask to hang out, and he said can't go into another prom. At that point in time, we were exclusive. That was his reply. Obviously, I am pissed. My real dilemma is whether or not I should tell him today 3 days before, and that I cannot go to his prom with him. We go to diff schools. I feel bad because you only get one senior prom. My friends think I should tell him Dave because he doesn't deserve the courtesy he wouldn't give to me. I kinda get it, but I don't know. Would I be the a-hole if I cancel on him on the day?